Hello. Welcome to Productions MJC. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. What is the deal here? Have federal workers been ordered to just let these people violate the sanctity of the post office property? Have postal workers been told just to let these people break federal law and walk around willy-nilly? Postal workers, please stand up for our rights. I mean, these people, they are walking around in the parking lot. They go staggering into the buildings. They're just antagonizing people. The technical term of harassment under the law isn't being violated, but they are antagonizing people. They are causing disturbances on the property by stomping around, getting in people's way, irritating them as they're doing their business. They shouldn't be in the lobby. This is the lobby. Now, 39 CFR 232.1 paragraph I does say that for news purposes, photographs, videos, that can be taken, okay? So they stomp right in there. This one person on the left understands that they're not allowed in the service counter area. So they just sit at the edge like a little petulant child antagonizing the individuals. The individual holding this camera is in violation of federal law because paragraph I says lobbies, foyers, auditoriums, hallways, stuff like that. They're not allowed in the service counter area. That is a restricted area, but they're stomping right in there. And those postal workers have been told to just let these people violate the space. Poster 7 is a colorful version, but why are these postal workers allowing, there's another person in the service counter area with a camera, not just pointing it in. That Lardo with the 360 camera is literally across the threshold, standing in the service counter area, and they're just antagonizing people and getting in their way, telling them that they're filming them for obtaining their information for somebody in Baghdad to sell their private information. They're just trying to whip the crowd up. News doesn't do that. News doesn't intentionally cause a disturbance, or they don't cause disturbances on purpose to create news content. Entertainment does that. Oh, wait a minute, I misspoke. There's that red-shirted, cowboy-hatted jerk in the service counter area where he's not supposed to be. I thought he knew better, but he doesn't. I mean, it's subjective if they're news or entertainment, but no one is allowed in the service counter area with recording devices. And he's irritating, antagonizing, not technically harassing under the legal definition of harassment from Black's legal dictionary, but he is trying to instigate a reaction. That's entertainment, that's not news. And postal workers, according to the paragraphs, you can search their belongings. Why aren't you doing that? You can give them directives and tell them to stay outside. Postal workers, why aren't you doing that? Have you been told just to let these people run rampant? Have they scared you and bullied you to the point where you think they have some sort of right to do this when they don't? You waive your First Amendment right when you go on postal property. You waive your Fourth Amendment right when you go on postal property. Most of us understand this. Postal workers should understand this. They mock you for not knowing what Poster 7 says. Poster 7 says that if you give a directive, any of you, from the person loading the trucks, to the clerks, to the sorters, to the counter help, to the postmaster themselves, if they give you a directive and tell you, take your camera off property onto the sidewalk, they have to go, according to federal law. But here they are, milling around, technically loitering. They don't really have a purpose other than to try to cause a disturbance and antagonize people into reacting. News doesn't do that. News goes out and holds a camera up and shows people what's happening. These people are intentionally trying to create a situation and make it happen. They follow the guys out into the parking lot and antagonize them. It's disgusting. It needs to be stopped, but postal workers, stick up for your postal patrons' rights. They have a right under 39 CFR 232.1 to have postal workers stop these jerks from just milling around them, crowding them, following them. Technically, that's called stalking in some venues, and I think it would be in California because they don't have any business marching up on this person out to their car, into the building, milling around this person and following them around. It's very different from what's allowed, but these postal workers have been scared by other people walking around with cameras to the point where maybe DHS or the postal police or somebody has told them just leave them alone and they'll go away. The problem is these people aren't going to go away. They are trying to instigate a reaction. They are intentionally trying to precipitate a reaction. That guy's from Ontario. It's his channel I'm filming, but he's filming the other ones. The short fat man, which I am, so I can say it. That short fat man with the hat, with the 360 camera mounted to a waist thing, and that guy, Impact Media. They are local Californians that go around and just instigate reactions. That's entertainment. That's not news. Under the law, 39 CFR 232.1, aka Poster 7, the postal workers who are just letting this go on actually could stop it in a heartbeat. They could call for local police to come and kick them out if they won't leave. They have to leave the service counter area. They say they're news so they can go into lobbies, and that'll have to be debated in court, probably. But 232.1 does not give them the right to go into a service counter area where they are. This is separate. There is a walled off entranceway. They don't have the right to do that. Postal workers, I'm calling on you to stop letting this happen. Tell the people, show them what Poster 7 says. I am giving you directions to leave the building. They don't have a First Amendment right to record in the building. Under federal law 39 CFR 232.1, they have a restricted time, place, and manner on the government is allowed to give time, place, and manner restrictions, and that's what 39 CFR 232.1 does. If they won't get out of the service counter area, if they won't stop blocking people, if they won't stop milling around and following people out to their vehicles, like this guy does, then they need to have the police come and enforce the law. Now, I would love to see that happen. I have relatives that are postal workers that, unfortunately, they are either retired or living in towns that aren't going to get, like Lake Forest is, not a big town. They're a tiny town that isn't going to get this kind of idiocy traffic. I used to be in favor of what they were doing, but that's before they started to antagonize and instigate people. When they did it silently, then I agreed with what they were doing, when they would just silently observe. But they have become proactively antagonists and bullies, and they are literally intentionally antagonizing people to try to get a rise out of them. That's not news. It's entertainment. Some of it's entertaining. Some people act really stupid, and it's fun to watch both sides. Okay? I won't lie. But this kind of occupying space they shouldn't be in, causing a disturbances are, now, it used to be that they didn't cause a disturbance. They would act silently, and the people would cause a disturbance, and through what's called um, they're trying to get create such a disturbance. It's called a heckler's veto. That's what I was going for. A heckler's veto is when the crowd starts to get so overreactive that the police have to come and kick out the people that are doing nothing wrong. That's what they want to happen. The crowd wants the police to enforce their feelings. Okay? That used to happen because these people used to be silent and they used to not say a word unless people talked to them, and they weren't so belligerent and weren't so proactively antagonistic towards people. But now they have become, within a couple of years, they have become proactively antagonistic. They try to create issues. They try to create the heckler's veto. They try to precipitate it by just being completely freaking obnoxious. And it's working. But now it violates 39 CFR 232.1. I don't know the exact paragraph, but it's called a disturbance. And they are, by yelling, and they're yelling at the people are yelling back. That is a disturbance. It's disturbing the other people, like this lady up at the counter. These two people yelling at each other is legally, under the law, a disturbance. And postal workers, stop it. Stop putting up with this crap. Enforce your laws. For the love of heaven and earth, sweet mother of heaven, enforce your laws. Don't allow these people to antagonize other people. They are causing a disturbance by yammering back and forth and walking around. And see, everybody's getting involved now because these two people yelling at each other, these three people, that person on the left there, and the one with the camera, the two with the camera, three with the camera, eight with a camera, whoever it is, they're yelling back and forth in a freaking service counter area. They shouldn't even be in there to begin with, because the law doesn't say they can walk into a service counter area. Even if they were a news agency, a legitimate news agency gathering content for a story, if a news crew walked in here and saw this disturbance and started to film it, the news crew couldn't legally come into the service counter area. They could film from the lobby, because that's what the law says. Paragraph I. Postal workers, start protecting us under the law. Poster 7, read it. Go direct to 39 CFR 232.1, read it, and you'll notice, oh, wait, that's just poster 7. Yes. So read it in its entirety and understand that you are an authorized individual under the law. And postal workers, you can stop this disturbance crap in a heartbeat. Just call the cop and say, these people are yelling at each other and these other people can't conduct their business. So we want them out on the sidewalk. That's it. And if they won't leave, throw the silver bracelets on them and away you go. You have the power. Like, what's that song? You have the power. You've got the power. Exercise your power. Enjoy your power. It doesn't have to be the postmaster. It can be these folks working the counter. You can call the cops and just say, these 2, 3, 5 idiots are causing a disturbance. We want them outside on the public sidewalk. We don't want them in the building. Get them out of here. And if the people won't leave, say arrest them and show the cops where the law says, I am an authorized individual for the Postal Service, and I want them arrested because they're violating this federal law. And they can do it because within the 232.1, there is a provision where they can make an agreement with the police that the police can enforce the federal law. Postal workers, this video is for you. You have the power to stop this nonsense. Please start doing it. Please protect your postal patrons. These people they're vultures. They are parasites, not this man. The people with the cameras are simply parasites and vultures trying to instigate reactions. And they need to stop it, because this man wouldn't keep yelling at them if they didn't yell back. They are trying to just make money off of this. It's a commercial endeavor, and you can stop it in a heartbeat. And please, when these First Amendment auditors, as they call themselves, or content gatherers, oh, they may be journalists, but they're not news journalists, they're entertainment journalists. When they tell you this, you can know they're lying, because your poster 7 shows you absolutely where they are lying through their teeth. Poster 7 shows you where you've got the power and where they're lying. You need to stop this. Stop these people from coming into the service counter area at least,
because they are lying to you.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. Have a good day.
This has been Productions MJC.